What's up, everybody? It's your girl Barbie J here with a recap and review of Tyler Perry's White House drama, The Oval, Season 6, Episode 10, The Breaking Point. Now, this episode to me, it was breaking my concentration. I don't know. I just didn't like it. They could have broke it in half and changed it around or did something. Breaking point. I think this was my breaking point. I think I don't want to review this show anymore. This is my breaking point, y'all. Somebody gonna have to talk me back into reviewing this show because it just made no sense. I didn't. Ah, Jesus Christ, superstar, help me. Anyway, if this is your first time coming to this channel, or if you are returning and have not subscribed to it as of yet, please take a moment right now, hit that subscribe button, then hit the notification bell and select all. It'll let you know every time I upload any new content to this channel. Then I ask that you hit that like button, which is the thumbs up button, write a comment and give us your 2 cents about the episode, and then share the video because sharing is caring and you'd like to help assist this channel grow. That's why. Anyhow, this episode starts off with Richard is still choking Nancy since last week. He's still choking her out. And he's strangling her, whatever he's doing. And Sharon is trying to pull him off. She calls Dale to help. Dale tries to stop him. Dale gets elbowed in the nose by Richard, and his nose started bleeding. He a little wimp. He was gone for the rest of the show, holding his nose. I'm just like, really, Dale? Come on, you got to be tougher than that. So anyway, Sharon keeps pulling Richard off. She finally gets him to get off of Nancy, and then she gets up and she's like, "You put your hands on me. You did this to me. I'm gonna call the police on you. You stay right there. Where's my phone? I'm calling the police. You stay right there." He said, "I'm gonna stay right here and I'm gonna wait." He said, "This is what you wanted from me, right? You want to see that I could be an MFer? Well, that's what you got." So now we got Priscilla and Donald going upstairs. Priscilla's asking him if he's nervous because he's standing behind her. He swears he's not, but we know he is. They get upstairs, it's quiet, nobody's around. All of a sudden, a door opens and all those little laser beams are pointing at them. There's about 9 of them pointing at them. I swear, 8 or 9 beams. And they're like, wait, stop. Priscilla's like, stop. And then Donald tried to run. They run and jump on him. I think it was Agent Isaac, and they dragged his butt back on the floor, through the floor, picked him up and put him in a chair, and then had Hunter come out there and sit across from him and start questioning him. Priscilla was pissed because she said, "This is not what you promised. This is not what we discussed." And Hunter didn't give a hoot. He didn't give a hootie tootie, fresh and fruity. He just didn't care. And Priscilla really should have realized that Hunter wasn't even going to keep his word. You know, so he starts saying stuff to Donald. Donald was swearing that everything he did downstairs with Eli was for Hunter. Hunter said he didn't believe him. Then Jason came out there and Hunter said he was going to let Donald sit in the room with Jason, see if Jason could get him to talk or do something. I don't know, because Jason crazy. He said, "Priscilla, go get me a knife from the kitchen," because, Jason crazy. He want to cut up somebody and kill somebody because he likes death. Oh, and I forgot to tell y'all that Hunter had Agent Isaac put the gun to Donald's head, and Donald was scared as ish, and he told him he didn't believe him anything he was saying. But Donald swore up and down that he had a plan and that what he would do to help Hunter. So Hunter told him what he wanted done, and Donald didn't think he could get done what Hunter wanted done, and Hunter said, "Well, if you don't, things are going to get worse." Then they let them go. They get downstairs, and Priscilla could tell Donald is shaking a bit. Donald trying to act like he wasn't, that he's fine and all this stuff. And she's like, "Oh, okay." And next thing you know, Kyle comes out this door. He want to see him. "How you doing? Are you okay? Let me look at you. What did he say to you? What happened up there?" Priscilla's like, "Look, the president is waiting for us." Then she and Kyle get into a back and forth. Kyle's like, "You better respect me. I'll answer to you." And she's like, "Look," and all this stuff. And then it was like, Donald was like, "Look, Priscilla, wait for me over there." And then Kyle wanted to know everything, but Donald wasn't telling him. And Kyle said he don't like being in the dark. But he said, "Don't worry about it. Just stay aware, stay awake, and you'll soon find out everything. I need to talk to the president." But he did let him know that Hunter is crazy as hell. And another thing I don't care about is this whole thing with Priscilla's whole attitude. They got her thinking she's all that because she's working in between what, Hunter and Eli, the president and the vice president. What is that all about? Somebody tell me, please. Because these characters, one minute they good, the next minute they bad, and I can't stand it. So now we have Sharon. She calls Sam to tell him what's going on at Richard and Nancy's house. And she's telling him it's real bad and she don't know what to do. And he's like, please don't let Nancy call the police. Tell her, you got to talk to her. You got to try. You understand? She's like, she's not listening to me. She's not listening to me. He's like, okay, I'll get there as soon as I can. She's like, Harry, Harry. He said, I can't leave right now. I'll get there as soon as I can, but do whatever you can to stop her from calling the police. And Sharon said, okay. So what Sharon did was hid Nancy's phone. And when Nancy came down looking for the phone, she lied and told Nancy that she already called the police. Now there's this dumb scene with Victoria telling Donald to come in here and she need to talk to him in his office. And she wants to know what happened when he went upstairs with Hunter. And he wasn't trying to tell her anything. And she was like, we got to get Eli out of the office. Did you hear how he spoke to me? What does she think this is? Anybody who speaks up to her and checks her behind is a problem and have to get out of the Oval. And then it seems like her and Donald had something going on anyway, whereas she's claiming like she had to sleep with Eli to cover her bases. And she's given this whole scenario, which was ridiculous. And even Donald told her that. And he said, now, how is that working out for you? He was like, please, you just want to sleep with the man. So he tells her he has to go see Eli. And she's like, I'm coming with you. And he said, no, you're not. He clearly doesn't want to see you, so you're not going in there. Then Alan comes out and he tells Alan he needs him to move back into his old office. I said, oh boy, he just moved him out of it. Now he moving him back. Isn't it the same damn day, y'all? Oh, God. So now we have another scene that makes no sense. We have Lily in Alan's office and she's asking him for a gun. And he's like, I don't have a gun. And she started telling a story about a friend who had their husband killed and all of this stuff. I was like, this is such a ridiculous scene. Therefore, y'all, I'm not saying any more about it. The next scene we have that makes no sense is Victoria running behind Bobby, wanting to know what's going on, wanting to go upstairs. He doesn't advise it. She wants to keep him there and hold him there until she could find out something from him. He's not trying to tell her anything. What's going on? I don't know. That's right. You don't know. You don't know who you want to sleep with. You don't know who you shouldn't sleep with. And he's like, ma'am, do you need anything and stuff? And he's like, she's like, where you going? He's like, I've been summoned. Who? By Simone? He's like, ma'am. And she was like, he said, I gotta go. And she was like, did I dismiss you? And she's making him stand there. You'll stand here as long as I need you. And he's like, this is not helping the situation upstairs. And she starts touching on him and stuff and everything. And she finally lets him go. He leaves and she wanted to go with him. He said, you will not be going with me. And so he walks away and she's watching while he walks away. And she said, I see why they like him. Bobby, Bobby, Bobby. And we all know Victoria just wants some of that too. She feels left out because Bobby been tapping everything over there and got them women fighting over him. You know what I mean? Anyway, so next we're in that security room and we have Max telling Sam what he and Priscilla were talking about that day, which was Jason, and how Hunter had told him that he and Sam were working together. And Max is telling him that Jason is asking questions about it. And so he said he has a plan and he tells Sam what they could do, like call Jason's room. And if Jason answers, then you could talk to him. And they know it's risky. And they said because if the line turns red, they have to hurry up and disconnect, which means that, you know, Hunter might be listening on or somebody might be listening on. Could be somebody like Kyle. You know what I mean? So they decide to give it a try and they call the room. Jason answers it and he's like, Sam, that's you? He said, Sam, you lied to me. You working with my father? He said, no, I'm not working with your father. He's like, am I in danger? He's like, son, you can trust me. He said, but I'm nervous. Am I in danger? And Sam tells him he may be. So Jason said, I got to find a way out of here. He said, can you do that? He said, yeah, just watch me. And that's when the phone turned red and they had to hurry up and hang up. And so now they're just hoping that Jason believed them. So now back over to Richard and Nancy's house where we have Sharon and Dale. They're sitting on the couch talking about their current situation and what's happening with Richard and Nancy. And Dale has an ice pack on his nose. And then Nancy comes downstairs looking for her cell phone. And she doesn't know that Sharon has it. So Sharon tells her that she already called the police and that they're going to send someone. So Richard comes into the living room with them, and he hears Dale say that he will tell the police what he saw. But that's because Nancy's nagging him to do that. And so Richard said, "You go on and tell him, son." And then they started arguing again, and Sharon gets pissed off, because they keep saying stuff back and forth. And Sharon tells them that Barry wouldn't want them fighting like this. And they're like, "We know he wouldn't." She said, "Then why you do it? Stop it." Then Nancy broke another vase, and Sharon gets mad and said, "That's it, stop it. I'm tired of this ish." And they said a few more things to each other and walked away. So now we have Priscilla. She goes into the Oval where Eli and Simone are waiting. He asks where's Donald, and she tells him that he stopped to talk with Kyle. And Simone started again. "Oh, there he go. He gonna stop and see his boyfriend. He was just in here having sex on your desk. Da 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 da." And Eli's like, "Why you gonna say this in front of Priscilla?" And she said, "I'm sure Priscilla already knows." And then she asks him, "Did he get his desk clean?" I said, "I thought you were going to make sure his desk got clean, Simone." So anyway, Eli tells Priscilla to go get him. But before she could leave the Oval, Donald showed up. So Donald told Eli everything that happened upstairs. Well, not everything. He didn't tell Eli any part about he told Hunter he was working for him. Everything he did was for him. He did not tell that part, and Priscilla didn't say nothing either. And I'm just wondering about that. Will Priscilla bring that back up? Will that be a card that she has to play later on to get her way with something? But anyway, Simone kept jumping in the middle of the conversation, saying this, saying that, till it got to the point where Eli said, "Priscilla." "Yes, sir." "Can you please take my wife somewhere to give her something to calm her ass down?" I said he was tired of her, and so was I. So when they leave, Eli had the nerve to say women. I said, "Negro, please. I know you didn't say women, because we could easily say men, especially the men up on this show. So don't even go there with the women. Everybody is toxic up in here on the Oval, okay?" So anyway, they try to come up with a plan or something, a way to meet with Hunter. And Donald comes up with this plan that they can meet in a bunker, just him and Donald in there together with no security, nobody else in the room. I don't know. Eli didn't like that. And Eli said, "I came up with a plan." He said, "If he's not out by the morning, I'm calling the National Guards." Donald doesn't think that's a good idea, because then the world is going to find out, the press and the news, and they don't want that to happen. And Simone was already saying they need to let the world know what the president is doing or something like that. So they're trying to contain everything and hide it, whereas Hunter don't mind exposing them. So I don't know which way is right or wrong, but it still makes no sense to me either way. So Eli's not backing down. This is what he definitely wants to do. And he tells Donald to call Hunter. And when he answers, Donald tells him to please hold for the vice president. And I said, why did he just call Eli the vice president? Eli didn't even catch that. Because isn't Eli the sitting president now? Somebody put that down in the comment section. Anyways, Eli tells Donald that he wants him out of that White House by the morning, or else he's calling in the National Guard. But Hunter doesn't even care. And Eli was trying to be tough, but he's so weak it's ridiculous. And he's like, "Look, Hunter, what's your end game?" And he said, "To F your wife just the same way you were effing mine." I said, "Ooh, no, he didn't." And Eli's like, "What are you talking about? You're delusional." And I'm like, "No, baby. No, no. He knows. And he knows there's a video too." So they go back and forth a little bit, because Hunter likes to play with him, and he hangs up, but not before telling Eli that you and Victoria cooked this up together, and you're going to regret it. He said, because you don't even know that you're in bed with a snake. So when he hangs up, Donald said, "I knew that wouldn't go well." He said, "Well," he said, "I want the National Guard here in the morning." He said, "No, sir, that wouldn't be a good idea." He said, "You hear me, Donald? I want them here at 6 a.m. in the morning." He's like, "Yes, sir." And so the episode ends with Sam showing up to Richard and Nancy's house. He's asking Sharon and Dale what happened. Then he saw Dale's nose. "What happened to you?" He told him what happened there. He said, "So where Richard and them?" They said, "In the dining room, just looking at each other and stuff." So he goes in there, and then Nancy's like, "Oh, I thought it was the police. It's you. Why they taking so long?" And then Sam is all soft. "Nancy, we need to talk." He's like, Richard's father got mugged and that's what happened. She's like, no, he didn't. He got stabbed and Dale saw it and he's going to tell too. And this and that. And I'm having him arrested. You see my neck is this on marks on it. He tried to choke me and stuff. And he's like, Richard, I talked to you about this. We had this conversation, Richard. Next thing you know, you hear the police come into the house. They didn't knock on anything. And Dale gets up and tell him the police are here. He said, you let them in? He said, no, they just walked in. And they asked him for Richard, and she's telling everything that happened, and they handcuffed him. Because they asked Sam who he was, and he said he's part of Secret Service. He's like, well, what are you doing here? And that's when Nancy was telling everything. They just asked Richard to get up and handcuffed him. And he said, Richard, don't say nothing. And Richard was like, fine. And they walked out, and Nancy's still running off her mouth, running off her mouth. I said, she is going to regret this. She going to regret this big time because he could be in jail, but she going to lose that house. She going to be in there with no money because she got rid of all his money, her dumb behind. So y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Y'all already know what I thought about it. I did not think it was good at all. So put your comments down in the comment section, and I will see you all in the next video. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Peace.